Welcome to today's Explainer. We're embarking on this really fascinating, impartial exploration of a pretty unique text. Right up front, we should note, 视频内容的来源是生命产源，创建源雪峰. That means the source of our content today comes directly from Xu Feng, the founder of Life Chenyuan. It's this deeply psychological piece called Guarding Against the Devil's Infiltration, and it presents a completely different framework for understanding spiritual struggles. Let's break the whole thing down. Okay, let's dive into this spiritual obstacle course we are about to navigate step by step. First, the biblical revelation. Then, the close one's obstruction. Third, the devil's 8 tactics. Fourth, the cosmic mission. And finally, 2 keys to victory. Section 1. The biblical story and revelation. Specifically looking at Matthew 16, verses 21 through 23. So, in the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus delivers this famous line to Peter, his most favored disciple, right? After Peter tries to talk him out of the prophesied crucifixion. Now, what's really interesting about this is how Xu Feng points out something crucial. Jesus isn't saying Peter himself is inherently evil. No, Xu Feng argues that at that specific moment, Peter was basically temporarily hijacked. The devil had sneaked right into Peter's heart to use him as a mouthpiece, essentially trying to disrupt the divine plan by using everyday human concern. And well, this brings us to a really radical redefinition. In the Life Chenyuan philosophy, you've got to totally throw away that classic image of a literal beast with horns and a pitchfork. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a virus. Xu Feng defines the devil strictly as a psychological infiltrator. It's this subtle, totally invisible force that sneaks into the hearts and minds of the people around us. Its entire goal? Just to act as a stumbling block to our spiritual progress. Section 2, the obstruction of close ones and the Trojan horse effect. So who does this infiltrator target to get to us? Well, according to Xu Feng, it's the people we love the most. He claims that the second we start making genuine spiritual progress, the closest people around us, our family, our friends, are the first to unknowingly set up obstacles. They might try to tempt us, threaten us, or just beg us to be more practical. But Xu Feng urges readers to realize our loved ones are absolutely not the enemy. They're essentially being used as Trojan horses. It's not their true intention to hold us back. The devil has just slipped into their minds, weaponizing our affection for them to make us waver on our journey. Section 3. The devil's 8 tactics and the traps of the mundane. Let's move on and see how this builds into an actual strategy. Just look at the sheer volume and variety of these 8 traps. They cover literally almost every aspect of mundane human life. First, the devil will try to instill doubt. If that doesn't work, boom, it pushes us toward materialism, wasting our precious time chasing money and worldly status. It'll use people's praise to breed arrogance. It'll send beautiful people to distract us with romance and narrow our focus. As we gain merit, it inflates our political ambitions. It'll plant negative emotions like jealousy and hatred. It will bind us with so-called moral ethics to strip our freedom. And finally, it'll just throw extreme disasters or even extreme benefits at us to completely wear down our willpower. It's a lot, right? And this brilliantly illustrates the core tension in Xu Feng's philosophy. Things that everyday society champions as traditional virtues, finding romance, building practical wealth, strictly adhering to societal moral ethics, are completely inverted here. In Xu Feng's view, these are actually meticulously designed traps used to bind us to the mortal realm and completely destroy our spiritual freedom. Let's look at the exact mechanics of this setup. Xu Feng argues the devil uses highly specific social situations to trigger a spiritual consequence. When people sing our praises, the consequence isn't healthy self-esteem, it's arrogance, which distances us from God. When the devil manufactures competitive opportunities, it plants psychological weeds of jealousy and hatred right in our spiritual garden. And when society creates rigid moral ethics, the consequence is literally the stripping away of our spiritual liberty. Which brings us to a massive, totally unavoidable question. If this psychological force is so pervasive, so cunning, and so destructive to our spiritual freedom, why on earth does it exist at all? I mean, why would a divine universe allow such a relentless saboteur? Section 4. The devil's cosmic mission and balancing the universe. So the crucial point is this. Xu Feng argues that we actually shouldn't condemn or insult the devil. Why? Well, because the devil is simply doing its job. According to this text, the devil has a strict assigned cosmic duty. Its mission is to pull a large number of lives downward to the lower levels of existence, and this pulling force is actually necessary to maintain the dynamic balance of life across all the different layers of the universe. It acts like a giant cosmic filter, separating those who are truly committed to the spiritual path from those who aren't. And because the devil is acting as this cosmic tester, the text presents an incredibly surprising conclusion. If you manage to stay focused, maintain your unwavering belief, and you successfully navigate the spiritual obstacle course, the devil doesn't destroy you in anger. No way. According to Life Xinyuan, the devil actually congratulates you. It says, "Child, you didn't fall for my tricks. You are good. You belong to the life of the kingdom of heaven. I bless you." Talk about a profound twist. The ultimate antagonist turns right into a validator of your spiritual triumph. Section 5. 2 Keys to Victory and the Ultimate Defense. Now, despite the thousands of strange, endless tactics the devil uses, tactics that Xu Feng says are literally impossible to defend against one by one, the text boils the ultimate solution down to just 2 core principles. Just 2. Step 1, a firm, unyielding belief in God. Step 2, maintaining absolute humility. Xu Feng argues that practicing these 2 simple fundamental rules acts as a master key. If you're deeply rooted in belief and perfectly humble, things like arrogance, materialism, jealousy, and doubt simply cannot take root in your mind. You render the whole shebang, all of those sophisticated psychological traps, completely useless. Which leaves us with this final thought. Xu Feng's guarding against the devil's infiltration asks us to completely reframe human psychology. If we truly viewed our daily frustrations, the objections of our loved ones, and societal pressures not as personal attacks, but as an invisible cosmic test, how would that change the way we interact with the world? How would it change the way we view our family and friends? It is a fascinating, provocative perspective on the spiritual journey, challenging us to look past the surface of our daily lives. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the world around you.